the quiet before the storm. Be seated, graduates. Good morning, everyone. Special good morning to the graduate students, the LBJ faculty, our staff who you see around this auditorium, and honored guests. Welcome to the 48th commencement of the Lyndon B. Johnson School of Public Affairs. I'm Angela Evans, and it's my privilege to serve as Dean of the LBJ School. Joining me on stage today is our distinguished guest, Miss Yamiche Alcindor, and our Associate Dean for Academic Strategies, Dr. Cynthia Osborne, along with members of our preeminent faculty. So we have faculty on stage. We also have faculty in that corner. So we're so pleased that everyone could join us. I would like to single out our other two associate deans, Kate Weaver. Kate Weaver is there. And Kate Weaver is the Associate Dean for Students. This is an inaugural dean position. And our Associate Dean for Research, Varun Rai, had a family emergency, so he's not with us today. And a special appreciation to all of them, for all they do for the school and for me personally. On behalf of the LBJ community, I want to extend my heartfelt congratulations to you, the students in class of 2019. Congratulations. And congratulations to those in the audience who have helped you to get here. This day is as much your day as it is the graduates' day. So I want applause for everyone in the auditorium who's helped support this. Today is an opportunity to look back at what you've accomplished here at the LBJ School and to be grateful for the families, friends, and colleagues who are here by your side. And to pause, breathe, and enjoy the moment before taking the next steps in our journey toward changing the world. You have achieved much, and I'm proud of you. This is a remarkable time to be entering the world of public policy and public service. Watching you begin this new chapter is exciting and hopeful for all of us. I want to thank the many members of the LBJ community who have made your journey here today possible, the faculty who have mentored you and challenged you, the staff who've worked behind the scenes to make sure you were supported every step of the way, and our amazing alumni who inspire us every day with their dedication and many achievements. The LBJ School is recognized as one of the top 10 public policy schools in the nation. We are seen as leaders in the quality of our programs, the research we undertake and the impact it makes on policy decisions, and the caliber of public officials and practitioners who teach and mentor our students. Our school has an integral role in achieving several noble goals. The first one, restoring belief in public service as an agent for the preservation and endurance of our democracy. Second, building expertise, constructing a knowledge base, and molding a learner committed to the public good. And third, infusing the civic sector with a sustained presence and steady flow of expertise so we can enhance the long-term innovation through sustained attention to creating government-driven solutions. Amen. Yes. We must build systems, relationships, and networks to ensure that the execution of ideas is as tightly and fairly accomplished as possible. We need to achieve an America that is thriving. We need to push forward the American people and the quality of their life and push back against entrenchment and dysfunction. Anthropologist Clifford Geertz described this as the universe of human discourse, enriching quality of life for all of us. He said, and I quote, "Learning is at the root of our success. It becomes a voyage of exploration, of scrutinization, and of experimentation. We sit here today with a common purpose, to work for the common good. This is a school that was created to harness a passion for service and to foster governance, better leadership, and better cooperation in the world in which we live." This is your legacy. We have expected much from you. You have risen to the challenges you have faced time and again, and you've succeeded. You're here. The call to service that brought you here initially unites you with every alumnus of the LBJ School who see difficult challenges and are inspired to find solutions. You're about to enter that group. One does not choose to get involved in public policy because it's easy. One chooses this path because it is hard. President Kennedy said that about something else, but I think these are very profound words. Because it tackles problems that matter to our fellow citizens, and because it takes grit and perseverance. As you start your next journey, think carefully and critically about everything. Public policy is not for the faint of heart. It takes commitment, especially to questioning assumptions and approaching problems with a broad outlook and an open mind. Expect the best from yourself and from those around you. Let ethics and integrity be at the core of whatever work you do. Facts matter. Words matter. Honesty matters. Hard work matters. Your word matters. It is your currency and your capital. Use it wisely. Walk in the shoes of many. Get out into the community and get to know the people and constituencies you aim to serve. Be sure you understand how policies affect them in their daily lives. At the heart of the real impact lies the ability to understand an issue from the ground up and with the empathetic lens that you bring to this story. Do not fear ambiguity. Situations are fluid. New information comes to light. Minds change. No one perfect solution exists to any problem. Stay comfortable with asking questions and with not knowing where to begin. Just roll up your sleeves and dig in and figure it out. Compromise does not equal capitulation. Building bridges, forming coalitions, finding consensus where you can. This is absolutely necessary. And it takes courage. Be courageous enough to seek the common ground and never, ever forget that you are part of something bigger than yourselves. Don't aim to convert, aim to convince. Use the power of critical thinking, data, evidence, and narratives to make your case. The goal is to allow people to arrive at conclusions close to yours after testing your perspective and conclusion. Don't underestimate the wisdom you can acquire by just listening to those who disagree with you. Seek them out. Democracy is fueled by many, many points of view. It's fueled by transdisciplinary and cross-functional expertise and by a willingness to hear and to respect other people's positions. We must learn from the past. History teaches us many, many lessons. We must accommodate dissent. We must nurture the innovative and diverse genius of our population. Polarization has turned opinions into battle lines and has become the defining characteristic of this era of American politics. This is what you're entering into. It is corrosive and it's dangerous to our democracy. You have to reject this. You have to reject division and polarization as a way of working, as a way of thinking, and engaging with others. Then you have the power to restore the foundational values of public service. And you can truly steer us in a new and productive direction. We're depending on you to do that. We have to find common ground. We need to connect at the human heart level with people. If you can dream it, you can build it. And it's okay to fail and try again. Get up, get muddied, get dirty, get bruised, and up you go again. You don't stay down. Aspire to what unites us, not what divides us. This is a tall order, to be sure, and it feels daunting. But the most difficult, most complicated problems are the ones that matter the most. They are the ones you need to come to with energy and persistence. I know you're up to the challenge. I know you're not afraid of hard work. I know that you have purpose. And I know that you are capable of doing great things. We as a society, as a democracy, have many problems to address and challenges to face. You have been learning about them and mastering the skills to help you meet these challenges. You are ready. There's no better time than now to be in public service. Right now is the time for you to enter into this and make a difference. As graduates of the LBJ School, you are part of a legacy of bold and courageous actions. Carry that with you as long as, after you leave here, as long as you are alive. Carry that with you. Speaking here at this school back in 1972, President Johnson said, and I quote, "I don't think change is our enemy. I think status quo is." Remember your training and lead the way on making these things better. Make life better. And remember, we are always here for you. We have your backs. Welcome to the arena. Now get out there and get it done. Congratulations. I'm now going to call on Dr. Cynthia Osborne, our Associate Dean for Academic Strategies, who will present 2 of our most prestigious student awards.
Thank you, Dean Evans, and good morning to our honored graduates, the faculty and staff of the LBJ School of Public Affairs, and to the families and friends and guests of this outstanding class of 2019. For you, our graduates, this is one of your finest moments. Each of you should be proud of what you have accomplished. Each year, we devote time at this occasion to recognize individuals who have made extraordinary contributions in their role as a student at the LBJ School. It is now my pleasure to announce these 2 awards. The Lyndon B. Johnson Foundation is a nonprofit organization that supports the Presidential Library and the LBJ School of Public Affairs. Each year, the LBJ Foundation presents students with the highest grade point averages in their graduating class with an award to celebrate their outstanding academic achievement. This year, we have 3 recipients of the Lyndon B. Johnson Foundation Award for Academic Excellence. The first is Layla Al-Hamadou. If you'll come forward to receive your award. Okay. You can come up as the others. The second is Madison Gove. And the third is Garrett Sheffield. Make sure that Garrett gets his award. He's probably studying.
As Dean of the LBJ School, I have the honor of meeting many students as they come and go, and they all illustrate what our school is all about. This year's class speaker is one of those students, an amazing young man. Wayne Holstine arrived at the LBJ School determined to make a difference, and he started right away. During his first year here, he jumped into the student government, serving as the external finance director on GPAC. That's the name of our student government association. He hit the ground running, knowing at least some of the ropes around the 40 acres, because Wayne was a double UT he's a Longhorn undergrad and also now an LBJ grad. His Master's of Public degree is in addition to his Bachelor's in Communication Sciences and Disorders. At LBJ, he brought a tremendous passion for helping families through nonprofit work to his public policy research project when he participated in research on early childhood education in Austin with the United Way. He assisted with legislative advocacy for the equality of Texas. Hold on a sec. I missed a page. It's important. He's done a lot. I've got several pages on him. He also understood that educational and economic opportunities do not come solely from a classroom. So Wayne worked as an intern running the summer learning program at the Andy Roddick Foundation, which gives children from low-income families opportunities for high-quality learning and enrichment experiences outside school over the summer. when services and attention tend to be negated. They're not in the school. While there, he also helped to create a legislative brief about the importance of funding out-of-school time programming. He was the perfect person for the job, having run more than 60 preschool and elementary school-based literacy and book giveaway programs before coming to the LBJ School. Compassion, fairness, and respect have connected all of Wayne's work during his time at the school. As one of the co-chairs of the Pride Policy Alliance, he focused once again on education, about the experiences of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer students, and the larger LGBTQ community, about the effects of policies on people's rights and treatment, and about ways to create much-needed dialogue and understanding about these issues. He assisted with legislative advocacy training for Equality Texas, the state's leading advocacy group defending the rights of LGBTQ Texans. He walked the walk, literally, participated in the Austin AIDS Walk with classmates and members of the Policy Alliance. With his leadership, the Pride Alliance partnered with UT Gender and Sexuality Center to hold an ally training for students and faculty. He also co-sponsored a civic engagement event here this spring called 50 Years After Stonewall, LGBT Rights and Public Policy. So if that's not enough, in addition to all of this, he also worked as a graduate assistant at the Longhorn Center for Community Engagement, advising students who participate in social justice-focused service learning trips. You see a pattern here? I can't wait to see what he's going to do next. So it's my pleasure to introduce you to one of our very, very wonderful graduates, Wayne Holstine.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Dean Evans. It is an incredible honor to be representing the class of 2019. I would like to thank the faculty, the LBJ faculty, for being here today, and I want to give a special shout out to the Office of Student Affairs and Admissions, along with the Dean's Office, for making today's events possible. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes to make days like today memorable, and let's give them all a round of applause. Welcome to all the families, friends, and classmates who have gathered here today in celebration. I also want to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed guests, particularly our commencement speaker, Yamiche Alcindor. It is an honor to share the stage with you today. I can't go on much longer without saying, surprise! My mom didn't know that I would be speaking today, and although she couldn't be here, she will be watching online, so hi, Mom! It was hard to keep this a secret because I was really, really excited to do this. My family has always been a huge part of my life, and I could not have gotten through these last through 2 years without them. I know that over the last years I've missed a few birthday parties and a couple holidays, but I hope they can see the sacrifice is worth it. This didn't happen during rehearsal, so. So to my family, I love you all so much, and I can't thank you enough for being my rocks, for keeping me grounded, and for letting me vent on particularly hard days. For many of us, there are so many people that we can thank for being our sources of support and for keeping us grounded and comforting us during the highs and lows of graduate school. For many of those people, they couldn't be here today because of distance or circumstance or because they are no longer with us. I lost my dad when I was 16, and well, again, not during rehearsal. While he hasn't been physically present at any of my graduations, I know that he has watched over me through all of these big life moments. Today, I'm wearing a pair of his cowboy boots that somehow fit me perfectly. Having a piece of him today gives me a sense of comfort and about an extra inch or two of height, not that I needed it. I'm deeply honored to have been chosen by my class for this momentous occasion. 2 summers ago, I was impatiently refreshing my application status page on the UT website to find out if I had gotten accepted. Anybody who was around me at the time could tell you I was incredibly worried about whether or not I would get in. Well, spoiler alert, I got in, and I definitely cried a little bit when I found out. It's okay. But all that has happened since that day has been an incredible whirlwind. We've been taught by world-class professors, both academics and practitioners, who have challenged us all to dig deeper. Dr. Cynthia Osborne taught me that early childhood outcomes depend on so much more than what happens in the classroom. She also taught me that no matter how many times you edit a memo, there's always room for improvement. Dr. Todd Olmsted, who taught me that showing passion for your work is contagious, and that a little bit of practice every day goes a long way. And then Professor Charlie Garden, who taught me not to forget the human aspects of our work. I also want to thank Dr. Kate Weaver and Dr. Victoria DeFrancesco Soto and the Dean's Office for their work on diversity and inclusion initiatives this year. As one of the chairs of the Pride Policy Alliance, their support has been incredible, and I couldn't thank them enough. While we've all learned so much from the LBJ School faculty, my friends and classmates are the ones who have taught me some of my most important lessons here. I can fondly look back on all the times we've spent together trying to complete problem sets, trying to finish group papers, and pondering our life choices. Through it all, we've supported and leaned on each other. I know that I've had many days when all I could think of was, I can't do this, or everyone here is so much smarter than me. Yet knowing that I had each of you in my corner really helped me get through it, and I hope I did the same for you. So thank you all. It's easy to take this kind of learning and these relationships for granted, but I want us to make sure that we remember the time we had here, especially when things get tough in the future. You are all amazing people who I can now call my colleagues, and I cannot wait to see what we go on to accomplish in the future. We entered this program because we felt a call to public service. In class, we called that public service motivation. We all felt this motivation in different ways. Some of us came to the LBJ School to advance our careers. Some of us felt a passion for a particular policy area, while others saw what was going on in our political system and wanted to gain the knowledge to get out there and make some changes. No matter the reason, we're all here together, and it's that passion that is the common thread that links us all together. Equipped with this new knowledge and the skills, combined with that passion that guides us, we can walk out of this auditorium today as public servants, ready to make a change and create an incredible impact. Our paths won't always be easy, and we're only at the beginning, and there's a lot of work to be done. We're also living in a time of incredible divide. There are many days when I hear a news story that makes me think, where do I even start? Or how can one person make a difference? When I was writing this speech, I kept wanting to answer these questions somehow. I kept wanting to think of some grand statement that would encompass all that we're going to face. Somehow, I ended up back at the beginning with kindergarten. We were taught to read and write. We were also taught to have empathy and to be kind to each other and to think before we act. We should always remember these lessons. I want to share a quote with you from President Barack Obama. He said, "Learning to stand in someone else's shoes, learning to see through their eyes, that's how peace begins. And it's up to you to make that happen. Empathy is a quality of character that can change the world. No matter where life takes you, take a second to see the world from someone else's eyes or to stand in their shoes. This ability will serve us well. It won't always be easy, and we're definitely not always going to like what we see. But we'll have a better understanding for each other, and we might be able to start building bridges across what divides us." I want to leave my classmates with this: take care of yourselves. There's a quote from an American Buddhist monk named Pema Chodron that I saw on a spoon in a coffee shop in South Austin. I know. It said, "Be kinder to yourself, and then let your kindness flood the world." We have a desire to do good for others or improve the world in some way. This is why I came back to school. But this quote reminds me that we can't do good for others unless we're doing good for ourselves. The world can be a scary place. There are disasters and humanitarian crises everywhere. It can be easy to get overwhelmed. In those moments, I hope that we can take a second to show ourselves some kindness, take a deep breath, and stay grounded. Only then can we give our all and be of service to others. So, when we leave this auditorium as graduates, let's remember to be kind to ourselves and to others, and to learn from those around us. Now, let's get out there and change the world. Thank you.
The class chose wisely. That's wonderful, Wayne. In just a few moments, you will hear from an award-winning journalist, a producer, and documentarian who every day demonstrates that a free and independent press is essential to democracy, and that holding the powerful accountable and informing citizens about their government is a profound and consequential calling. One of her White House correspondent colleagues, April Ryan, wrote about Yamiche. Yamiche knows her craft. She's serious about the beat. She's a reporter that stands out because of her dedication. She watches and she listens. That dedication started early. Yamiche Alcindor became an intern for the Miami Herald at age 16, and later worked at publications including the Washington Post and the Seattle Times, while earning her bachelor's degree in government, English, and African American studies at Georgetown. You heard me right, 3 degrees. As a breaking news reporter for USA Today, Yamiche covers stories including the Sandy Hook school shooting in Newtown, Connecticut, the death of Trayvon Martin in Sanford, Florida, and the police-related protests in Ferguson, Missouri, and Baltimore, Maryland. She found her niche, telling stories at the intersection of emotionally charged events and politics, which also led her to produce documentaries about gun violence, human trafficking, poverty, and wrongful convictions. Yamiche earned her master's degree in broadcast news and documentary filmmaking from New York University in 2015 before joining the national politics team of the New York Times. There she covered the presidential campaigns of Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders. Named the 2013 Emerging Journalist of the Year by the National Association of Black Journalists, Yamiche was number 13 in the 2017 edition of the Route 100. That's an annual list by the magazine of the most influential African Americans between the ages of 25 and 45. Also in 2017, she was honored at Syracuse University. It's the Toner Prize ceremony where she won the Toner Prize, and this was in name of her mentor, journalist Gwen Ifill. She said upon accepting the award, "I'm a reporter who is energized by civil rights and who believes that those issues are at the center of the political debates that we're having currently. Gwen told me that sometimes people can't picture you in positions, and sometimes you have to often make people believe in your skills and will yourself through your own talent to be in positions." This is very profound advice. Yamiche joined PBS NewsHour, Ifill's former TV home, as White House correspondent in 2018. And as a political contributor for NBC News and MSNBC, and she's appearing on shows like Morning Joe, Andrea Mitchell Reports, The Rachel Maddow Show, Hardball with Chris Matthews, and Meet the Press with Chuck Todd. She has covered President Trump on official trips abroad, but she's also taken time to bring us stories that show the impact of his policies for real people. For example, she chronicled the impact of his family separation policy on the U.S.-Mexico border. Her reporting is tough, informed, and compassionate, and we are so pleased to have her here today. Yamiche's meteoric rise among some of the most respected reporters in the business speaks clearly to her ability as a storyteller who uses both facts and human elements to translate complicated situations into a narrative we can understand and identify with. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Yamiche Alcindor to the LBJ School.
Thank you so much for that, Dean Evans. I'm going to borrow your box because I'm also kind of short. Congratulations to the class of 2019. You made it, you did the work, and now you're here. Thank you for allowing me to share these moments with you as you complete your time at the Lyndon B. Johnson School of Public Affairs at the University of Texas here in Austin. To the graduates, thank you for allowing me to share this time with you as you receive your degrees. Thank you to all the people who have supported the class of 2019, including the moms, the dads, the grandparents, the cousins, the uncles, the aunts, and those special friends. Thank you to Dean Evans for inviting me to be here, and to the faculty and staff for allowing me to share some remarks on this special occasion. The history of this school exemplifies that laws and education sit at the heart of fixing injustice. On July 2nd, 1964, President Johnson just steps away from Dr. Martin Luther King, signed into law the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The bill ended segregation in public places and aimed to outlaw discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, or national origin. Just 1 year later, President Johnson and Mrs. Lady Bird Johnson came to an agreement with the University of Texas to establish your school, the LBJ School of Public Affairs. What President Johnson and the First Lady understood then, and what we know now, is that passing laws are important to ensuring equality. Also critical to the future of our nation and the world, building generations of people aimed at upholding and creating just and fair public policies. And that, of course, is your legacy, the class of 2019, as you carry and leave here. So that history, your history, makes me especially proud to share these moments with you. One thing I can encourage all of you to remember, and one thing that has shaped my life, is discover your passion and pursue your purpose. You've obviously found out and dug deep to know that public service is your purpose, but there's an incident in history, or in addition to that, there's an incident in history that has helped fuel my passion as a journalist. It's the murder of Emmett Lewis Till. 10 years before, there was an agreement to establish the LBJ School of Public Affairs. Mamie Till sent her 14-year-old black son Emmett from Chicago to Mississippi to visit family. He was murdered by a group of racist white men in 1955. A white woman in a store falsely accused Emmett of flirting with her. She later recanted decades later after his murder. Emmett's body was found bruised and beaten in a river. Emmett's mother, Mamie Till, looked at her son's disfigured face and decided everyone in America needed to see it. She held an open casket funeral for him and allowed photographer David Jackson to snap a photo that quite literally changed history. The image of Emmett was published in Jet magazine. It forced America to face the brutalities of racism. And when I saw Emmett's face, it quite literally changed my entire world. I still remember staring for hours at the photograph of Emmett's face. I still remember gobbling up information because I wanted to know everything I could about him. I still remember sitting in a small movie theater watching a documentary about his life and deciding I wanted to be a professional witness. I knew after learning about Emmett's story exactly what kind of journalist I wanted to be. I wanted to be the kind that tells civil rights stories, that poses tough questions, that exposes our nation to the hard truth that we are not in a place where all men and all women are treated equally. As a White House correspondent interested in civil rights, my craft is a tool to hold people accountable and to give voice to the many, many people who may never walk into the White House. That's why I don't shy away from posing tough questions, whether I'm questioning a president, a presidential candidate, or anyone in places of power. So the question is, what is inspiring you? I know it's public service, but what makes you cry about things when others don't? What do you stress over that others overlook? What could you focus on every day for the rest of your life and feel fulfilled? Get hungry for that thing and pursue it with fervor. Make a career out of the thing that drives you. You already quite certainly are a class of problem solvers and a class that will go on to create public policies for cities and states around the world. But in doing so, focus on areas that move you. That brings me to my next point. Stay the course no matter what the setbacks are, Staying the course means giving yourself time to develop. Before I was a journalist, I worked at McDonald's. I was a telemarketer. I worked in a leather store at Miami. I was a helper at class reunions in South Florida. Maybe you're graduating without a job, or without the job that you thought you would get. Maybe you're graduating with a lot of student loans and are anxious about what comes next. Maybe you're just confused about the future. I am here to tell you, give yourself some space to develop. Focus on putting one foot in front of the other. And even if you're graduating into what you believe to be your dream job, brace for it to change. When I finally arrived at journalism, the setbacks came pretty quickly. One of my earliest memories of setbacks and hurdles takes me back to a double-parked car, when I was crying inconsolably. I had scored a great internship and I was working super hard at telling stories. I had made the front page and I felt great about my writing and future. Then a manager took me aside into an office and told me simply, I didn't look the part. That person told me I didn't look confident enough and I didn't fit into the newsroom. I took it to heart and I called a mentor of mine and let it rip. I ugly cried in that car and explained to her that I didn't know how I was gonna go forward. She gave me some great advice that I wanna share with you. She told me you should be too busy pursuing your passions to worry about what people think about you. It's advice I cherish and hold on to. It's advice that I hope you can hold on to as well. Unfortunately, each and every one of you will experience moments where people will challenge your very existence and question whether you have what it takes to accomplish. It's the kind of roadblocks that I hit when someone called my hair wacky or said that I was too fat to be on TV. People may criticize your career choices, condemn who you choose to love, or demean your cultural background. Stay the course. Drown out the noise. Go forward despite the hurdles. There's a reason you came to the LBJ School and decided to dedicate yourself to learning about public policy. Hold on to that motivation despite what anyone says or does to you. Also, forgive yourself. Setbacks aren't always about what people try to do to you, but what you do to yourself. Be okay with failing wildly at things. At each new decade in my life, and I'm sure the older people in this room might appreciate this, I've expected at every decade to come to some Zen understanding of the world. Yeah, you can laugh at that. At 30, I know, it's 30. At 30, I especially thought, here comes my awakening. But that hasn't quite happened. Instead, I found myself nauseous at times at my mistakes and leaning on family and friends to get me through. So fail at something, but also fail at doing it right. You'll fail at saying the right thing. You'll fail at fully understanding a problem. You'll fail at finding the right team. It will hurt. It will sting. You will question yourself. Learn from it and go on with your life, because true failure is sitting in defeat and letting self-doubt and fear paralyze you. And do as the great Oprah Winfrey, I love Oprah, suggest, ask yourself in times of struggle, what is this here to teach or show me? In essence, fail into wisdom. Fail into the kind of compassion that helps you forgive others when they fail too. Fail into humility. In closing, the passing of a late New York Times reporter reminds me of my final message. It's do the right thing and choose kindness. Wayne, you kind of stole that, but it's okay. I'm not gonna hold it against you. It was a good speech. On Thursday, I attended a memorial service for Robert Pear. He's a journalist who worked at the New York Times for more than 40 years and was very well known for covering health. He was a well-respected reporter who often knew more about the subject of his stories than the people and politicians and policymakers that he covered. But what really set Robert apart was that he cared for others and showed other reporters the way forward. During my first few months covering Capitol Hill, he took me around and spent time introducing me to people and explaining how things worked. He was a wealth of knowledge and generous in sharing all that he had learned during his decades in Washington. At his memorial service, people celebrated his reporting and his humanity. At his service just on Thursday, it made me think deeply about what we should all hope people will remember about us and the way that we lived our lives. We should all hope when we are no longer here that people will remember us as people who were sweet when we could have been cold, as people who were generous when we could have been greedy. Each one of you will enter this world and realize that in many places, egos rule the day. But I have some advice from a mentor of mine who shared this as I was preparing to cover my first courtroom trial. I said, I'm nervous, I don't know what I'm gonna do, this is a big trial. He simply said, don't be a jerk. What he meant by that was, in competition can be community. When another journalist stepped out of the court for a moment, I was happy to catch them up on what they missed. When I didn't quite hear something right, I could lean in on someone else and ask them, "Can you double check my notes?" It's much easier to barrel through life without regard for others. Instead, help people along the way. Share your knowledge, pull people up alongside you and after you. President Johnson said, "There are no problems we cannot solve together, and very few that we can solve by ourselves." These are certainly times of problems and controversy. Foreign countries are seeking to influence our elections. The very idea of truth and facts are under attack. And extremism in the form of white supremacy and terrorism, both abroad and domestic, is raging. There are so many other things like mass incarceration, stubbornly segregated schools, the crisis of addiction that will be your problems to solve. I pray you give yourself time and the team to solve them well. So as you begin your career shaping the world through public affairs in domestic and global public policy, think of these words of Martin Luther King. The time is always right to do what is right. Thank you to the class of 2019.
The time has come, after you heard all of our advice and our thoughts, it's time for you to, for the graduates to stand. And in keeping with a long-standing tradition, wait a second. I'm sorry. Now's the time for the diplomas. I was ready for you to get up and go. All right. I think you're ready to get up and go too, right? Okay.
Sure.
So we'll have the graduates stand and we'll bestow the diplomas.
We will now recognize the degree candidates for the Executive Masters in Public Leadership, the Masters of Public Affairs, and the Masters of Global Policy Studies. Dean Evans, faculty and staff, and most important, family members and friends, I am pleased to present to you the 2019 graduating class of the LBJ School of Public Affairs. You should clap, yep. I believe we can take pride in the quality of work performed by members of this graduating class, and that we will continue to do so as we follow their professional careers. Graduates, as I call your name, will you please come forward? Amanda Monique Aguirre. Celso Baez III. Nasamula Danish. Craig Zeno Davis. Graciana Gracie Garces. Nathan Galden. Rebecca K. Gutierrez. Marina Hench. Stacy Sutton Kirby. Omar Alexander Ochoa. Carolyn Barrett Pittman. Clarissa Ramon. Tracy Evelyn Ramsey Abbott. Timothy Reedy. Shane Edward Streepy. Laura George Tucker. Those are the graduates for the Executive Masters in Public Leadership. And we'll now announce the master's graduates. Kelsey Christina Abel. Molly Louise Arnold Adler. Chinelo Abuem. Leila Al-Hamoudou. Mina George Ramsey Busali. Samuel Fry Bennett. Robert Hadley Brame. Emily Brehab. Alex Lauren Bronner. Kayla Alexis Brown. Kingsley Burns. Holly Buttry. Ryan Matthew Carlino. Kelly Suzanne Carter. Murphy Ann Carter. Brenna McLeese Cummings. Margaret Devlin. Katie Drews. John Dunavant. Christina Lily Marie Dunnigan. Angelica Ferrandino. Margaret Allison Fox. Ashley Frandell. Renee Gadsden. Sarah Rebecca Garza. Fiona Ferris Gilmore. John Robert Gormley III. Laura Gorski. Libby Gorton. Madison Nicole Gove. Bailey Douglas Gray. Jake Greenfield. Lindsay Gail Harbison. Rayhan Hassan. Will Hayward. Jesse Wayne Holstine, Jr. Carlos N. Ornedo IV. James Hunt. Sang-hoon Young. Heidi Marie Kale. Christy Camish. Tamara Keeney. Nathan Kinsman. David M. Neeland. Sarah Marguerite Kessler. Jose La Rosa. Jennifer Lamotte. Alexandria Larson. Elizabeth Kirsten Lawrence. Jacqueline Lee. Amanda Elizabeth McCune. Caleb R. Mangohik. Carolina Miranda. Sofia Morales Moreno. Hannah Munin. Audrey Muntz. Lynn Murphy. Charles Greer Niquette. Brooke Nicely. Arajit Paladi. Minhai Park Cheng. Allison D. Paul. Carl B. Perry III. Samantha Piercy. Christopher Piskai. Preston Poole. Mariana Prieto. Sana Rafiq. Chelsea Nicole Rangel. Kelsey K. Ritchie. Laura Emily Robinson. Nicholas Ryan Rudd. Michelle Rueda. Ned Ryan. David Sostad. Eugenie Sheev. Alexandria Elizabeth Schossler. Kimberly Schuster. Andrew Scoggin. Melanie Lorraine McMath Scruggs. Stefan Silvera. Sadie Smeck. Matt Smith. Sarah Teresa Spalding. Janina Bettina Stakun. Alexa Bella Tavares. Nawal Trace. Daniel Vuong. Catherine Taylor White. Matthew Ryan Worthington. Rand Ziola. Congratulations, graduates.
Wow. That is an incredible group of people that just walked through the stage, all with their own stories. Amazing, amazing people. We're so, so proud of you. So, here we go. Graduates, please stand. In keeping with long-standing tradition, now that you have transitioned from candidate to graduate, I invite you to officially transfer the tassel on your mortarboard from the right side to the left side. Yay. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to introduce you to the class of 2019. Graduates, turn around and look at all those amazing people who have supported you through this journey. They deserve the same applause. Woo! Okay, family and friends, we want you to just remain seated until our graduates finish recessing from the auditorium, and you can meet the graduates upstairs. They're going to do a class photo outside of the library, and we have some lemonade, we have some iced tea, we have some things too, so we can celebrate a little bit. And now, graduates, one more thing. You're not just a graduate of the LBJ School, but you're also a graduate of the University of Texas, Austin. So we're going to start singing about our university. Ready? If you allow me one more minute, there's a special person in the audience that I need to thank personally. It's my husband, Gary Evans, who without him, and without his support, I wouldn't have the stamina and energy and the vibe to keep going. And I just really love him, and I'm so glad he's here to share this moment with all of us. Okay, here we go. We're going to march out.
to take your bitch.